What's up, everyone? Jeremy here from, well, the Jeremy Hambly channel. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope that you subscribe. You may recognize me from other channels that you may have seen, or maybe the quartering or whatever. But this is my my personal channel. Well, also going to be a little more spicy. One of the biggest things you'll hear talked about in inner cities is food deserts, pharmacy deserts. What it is, what any non social justice minded, anybody who's telling the truth, the cycle is very easy. In these communities are heavily Black, and they are heavily unmonitored. Or they have very few penalties because they're in Democrat-run cities. So even if they commit crime, they get right back out. So they're incentivized to not care about the law. Why would you expect them to care about the law when, the mayor and the police don't care about the law? They go into these restaurants, they go into these pharmacies, they go into these convenience stores, and they rob them every day. They rob them, and they rob them, and they rob them. And then they're like, but why is Walgreens leaving? That's racist. No, it isn't. Stop robbing them. Stop putting their employees' lives at risk. And Philadelphia, maybe the second most dangerous city in America, just behind Chicago, it has a beloved food chain called Wawa. And I don't know if it's it's the East Coast place, I think. And here we have Quick Trips, and we have, essentially they're like convenience stores that don't always have gas, I think. But they've been closing them like hotcakes in Philadelphia alone. Why? Because they're continually being robbed. And here's this video like that. I just, it gives me fatigue. And I'm tired of people pretending that this is not a rod of their own making. If you want to whine about food deserts, stop robbing your restaurants. You want to whine about pharmacy deserts, stop robbing your pharmacies. It's as simple as that. Inner city, if all these people in the inner city were walking into Walgreens or CVS and purchasing items like a normal human being, they would not be leaving. And by the way, I want to shout out, speaking of purchasing things as a normal human being, our gingerbread K-Cups are in stock. They're very, very popular. They're available for free next day shipping on Amazon, along with our strawberries and cream, which has been restocked too. Highly, highly recommend them. They're absolutely delicious. Roasted fresh, ultra small batch. We're not some drop ship outlet. You notice how everyone who drop ships their stuff isn't on Amazon because they can't afford it, because Amazon takes 30 cents of every dollar you make on their website. But either way, check out the gingerbread and the strawberry. Both are linked I'll link the gingerbread in the description. Here's a viral video from Wawa. It says, from Philly Crime Update. I can't figure out why Wawa keeps closing stores. I think 20 this year already they've closed. By the way, why are there 30 people in there in the first place? This is Wawa Lick in 4K. These people aren't even covering their faces. They don't give a ish at all. I know I said I'll be more uncensored on this channel. I will with my opinions, but I still don't like to swear. Sometimes people are watching the show with their kids in the room, or their family, or they're, driving around or something. I don't want to be filling people's, heads with a bunch of curse words. But it's insane. Like, these people have no shame. Look I'm walking out. Look at all the stuff I'm stealing. I'm so cool. Every one of them Black, by the way. Just saying.
Y'all got mom and dad. That's a mess. That's not cute.
Now, was that guy bringing that back? He's got his arm full of other stuff. Is he bringing back the M&Ms?
That's not cute.
I can't hear what he says there.
Mom and dad. That's a mess. That's not cute.
I don't know. By the way, the women who are, cheering this on, they're like, oh, that's naughty. You have parents. Well, like, what do you expect? Look, what do you expect people who grow up with no consequences in their life, why would they act any differently? I'm not even saying that this is I am saying specifically, this isn't like, hey, they're committing these crimes because they're black. I'm saying they're black inner city people have no consequences. They just do whatever they want. And even if they do get arrested, they get let out the next day. They're living in the inner city. There's not a lot of jobs. You have a lot of people who are low income, on food stamps, on, all this stuff, government assistance. What are you going to do? Fire them from their job? They don't have one. What are you going to do? You're not going to take away their food stamps because that's racist. You're going to put them in jail for a week? Cool. Their culture celebrates that. They'll be cooler out on the streets if they've done a stint. But they don't even get pulled in. See, a culture, it's a learned behavior. Too bad Philly doesn't have a police force. I mean, again, people are saying like, why are you so poor and primitive? It's going to be your fault. I don't, there's a lot of people here who are like, I don't think they're doing what they're doing because they're black. They're doing what they're doing because they have no consequences. And everybody else in that store who's paying for this stuff is a sucker, right? This gets passed on to all of us, by the way. Here's a thread. Why do we live in a food desert? Day is just racist, yo. Let's see how this is going. They shut down a KFC there. And then you have, again, people who are on food stamps, which again, I don't have anything against people on food stamps if you're disabled or if it's to cover for a temporary hardship. I think there are legitimate reasons to give people assist. That's why people think I'm like some kind of hard right conservative. I'm mostly just a non-crazy liberal. If people need assistance, I don't mind it. But when people are like, we're just going to steal, like you should just be banned from getting EBT forever.
Yeah, I told y'all, with or without EBT, me and mine gonna eat.
Yeah, I can see you're eating plenty.
Fuck it.
Look at all that.
Of course we gonna eat.
On
She never
who?
not gonna
On
eat.
cuz now. We gonna eat.
They're just going to steal it. They're just going to steal it. You see this one, like, this is from October 16th. Black fatigue is even getting to other blacks. Popeyes. Not going to play it because there's music in it. Black folks say life hack, but it's really just stealing. Movie theater hack that works every time. Let's hear this hack.
The best movie theater hack is to get something like random out of your car and literally just
steal. You're just stealing. That's not a hack. You're just stealing. It's just a hack. Or it's not a hack, it's stealing. I just, if we look here and we look at just the Wawa, this in Philadelphia alone. Customers react to Wawa closing 2 stores. And then people will say, oh, but where will I get my garbage? Well, stop stealing it and stop, allowing society, stop allowing it in society. Wawa has closed nearly a dozen convenience stores in Philly since 2020. So be way more than that. This was in April. This is 2 more closed. I mean, they're closing because the citizens that are living around them are robbing them into oblivion. It's why all these pharmacies left San Francisco. They get some progressive white mayor who lives in a gated community, and they're like, yeah, just let them do whatever they want. I need the black vote and shit. I need the black vote. So we're not going to put black people in prison. We're not going to enforce the laws against black people. Maybe when they ruthlessly stab a poor white girl sitting on a train, maybe we'll be convinced to get off our rear ends and do something. If there's national outrage when a group of black men beat the brakes off some old white lady in the middle of the street and somebody happens to film it, which again was another one of the black people who were celebrating this poor woman getting, getting pummeled, and there's national outrage, maybe we'll do something. But these progressive the progressive leadership in these towns, They are not going to fix any of this. They embrace it. They want it to be the case because they don't want to be called racist. It's not racist to want people to follow the law. When I'm saying, hey, don't be looting Wawa stores, I'm talking about everybody. Everybody shouldn't loot Wawa stores. But I mean, it's only large groups of black people that are doing it. That's if you want to think that that's racist, well then stop doing it. I don't see a single white person in here doing it. I see about 50 black people doing it. Not a single white guy partaking in any of this. Not one. All right, now you might say, well, it's inner city, no white people live there. Okay, well, show me a video of a bunch of white people looting a Wawa in the suburbs then. They don't. And so when Wawa closes down in these neighborhoods, and they're going to say, oh, we don't have anywhere to get our hot Takis and hot Cheetos. Well, you wrecked it. Not white people, not cops. You wrecked it. So enjoy. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it. Don't forget to pick up our gingerbread coffee or our strawberries and cream, shipping free next day on Amazon. If you already picked it up, please remember to leave a review. And we'll talk to you again real soon.